left a version of myself somewhere behind. The violin begins before the night explains, and I remember every beautiful mistake. I thought that I was made of something stronger, but every time I break I last a little longer. The glass inside my chest still catches light and makes a prism out of every broken night. Glass heart on a neon floor, still beating, still warm, still wanting, still repeating. Every crack lets in a little more what is real. Glass heart on a neon floor, can feel the bass move through. What can I be undone? Can feel the grace of something greater coming through. Glass heart on a neon floor, still shining, still lost, but somehow always finding through the wreckage of the person I used to be. A glass heart on a neon floor, set free. I came into this world with open hands. Nobody gave me any kind of plans. Just a borrowed heart and borrowed time, and a hunger that I could never quiet mine. Grew up watching people leave without a word, learned to swallow every feeling never heard. But the version of myself that couldn't break, performed the role so long I lost was real at stake. Then one night the music hit me somewhere deep in a room of strangers fighting off their sleep. The violin played something like a wound unclosed, and every wall I built came crashing till exposed. I stood there in the middle of the crowd alone, more honest in that moment than I'd ever known. Like the bass had reached inside and pulled the truth apart, and left me standing with my glass heart. Glass heart on a neon floor, still beating, still warm, still wanting, still repeating. Every crack lets in a little more what is real. Glass heart on a neon floor, can feel the bass move through. What can I be undone? Can feel the grace of something greater coming through. Glass heart on a neon floor, still shining, still lost, but somehow always finding through the wreckage of the person I used to be. A glass heart on a neon floor, set free. I used to think that being soft was being weak, that tears were just a language for the meek. So I traded that for distance, feeling for control, and nearly lost the music of my soul. But then the breakdown came the way they always do. Not when you are ready, not when skies are blue. In the worst and most inconvenient kind of dark, right when you have nothing left to guard your heart. And in there wrong there, something met me there. Not a vision, not a sign, just something in the air. Like the violin was speaking in a tongue I always know, a language underneath the language saying I see you. I see the kid who cried himself to sleep in cars. I see the dreams you buried underneath the scars. I see the love you never let yourself perceive. And I am here to tell you it is safe to believe. Lower the lights, let the violin breathe alone. Lower the walls, let the frequency find home. In the space between the breakdown and the beat, there's something holy waiting in the heat. I never thought that worship looked like this. A crowded room, a violin, a midnight reminisce. But something in the music reaches past my skin, touches what no human eye has ever seen within. I've tried to name it, tried to box it, tried to keep it small, but it expands inside me and it swallows every wall. It is not religion, not a doctrine, not a creed. It is the thing that finds you in your deepest need. I felt it like a current found the light.
There is a place between the dark and dawn, where everything I carry just moves on. The violin finds me before the words do, and suddenly I'm somewhere I once knew. I never meant to end up here alone, but here I am with nothing but this tone, this frequency that cuts right through my chest and wakes the part of me I try to rest. Where the night forgets my name, I finally breathe. Where the music holds the way I couldn't leave. Every note of prayer I never learned to say. Where the night forgets my name, I find my way. Where the night forgets my name, the walls come down and all the silence turns into a sound. I stop pretending I have got it all together. Where the night forgets my name, I feel forever. My name, the walls come down and all the silence turns into a sound. I stop pretending I have got it all together. Where the night forgets my name, I feel forever. They told me I was too much and not enough. The sensitivity was weakness, life was tough. So I built the walls and kept the feelings low. Performed the version people wanted just for a show. But the music always found the cracks in me. Slipped right through the armor to the part still free. That boy who used to cry without a reason why, who felt the weight of everything beneath the sky. I've been running from that version, tried to leave him back, but he shows up every time the beat drops black. And I realized he was never meant to disappear. He was just the truest part of me in fear. So tonight I let him breathe, I let him feel the bass, I let the violin dark, take it down past the noise to the place in my heart where I stopped explaining, where I stopped the pretend, where the music is the only thing that doesn't end. I have talked to God in rooms that no one sees, in the middle of a breakdown on my knees. Not the polished kind of prayer with all the right words used, just the raw, unfiltered kind of so confused. And somehow in the chaos something answered back, not a voice exactly, more like filling up the lack, like warmth inside a winter I had lived too long, like finally understanding I belonged. I felt it in the violin above the heavy beat, I felt it in the moment when the rhythm and the silence meet. You don't have to be together to be heard tonight, you just have to keep on standing in the light, even flickering, even fading, even small, even barely standing still. You gave your all, and that is more than enough, that is more than enough. The night remembers every soul who called its bluff, where the night forgets my name, I finally breathe, where the music holds the weight I couldn't leave. Every note a prayer never learned to say, where the night forgets my name, I find my way. Where the night forgets my name, the walls come down and all the silence turns into a sound. I stop pretending I've got it all together. Where the night forgets my name, I feel forever. I am not the sum of everything I lost, I am every step I took at any cost. I am the violin that plays above the pain, where the night forgets my name, where the night forgets my name, where the night.
The city breathes, but I feel hollow. Every street light casts a shadow I can't follow. The bass is low, the violin cries, and somewhere in this night I realize I've been searching in the spaces between the beats, looking for a piece that no one ever speaks. The music moves like water through my chest, and for a moment I forget the rest. Shadows learn to dance, the morning won't arrive. I found my way through darkness just to feel alive. Every tear I swallowed turned into a melody. The broken parts of me became my only key. Shadows learn to dance, shadows learn to dance. I never thought that losing could become my second chance. Through the noise, through the pain, through the lonely 3 a.m. Shadows learn to dance again. I walked into this room with nothing left to say, carrying the weight of everything I threw away. The violin played something that I used to know, a feeling from before I let my spirit go. I closed my eyes and let the melody take hold, reminded me of stories I was never told. despised, the face that carried failure written in his eyes. I numbed it with the music, with the crowd, the bass, pretending that the darkness was a normal place. But even in the club, even on the floor, something kept on pulling like an open door. Not a sermon, not a sign, just a violin string cutting through the fog and making my soul sing. I don't need to have it figured out tonight, I just need to keep on moving toward the light. One step in the rhythm, one breath in the dark, one beat at a time, rebuilding what was torn apart. Strip it all away, just the violin and me. Strip it all away, just the truth I couldn't see. In the quiet underneath the noise I always ran from, there was always something waiting, there was always someone. I felt it like a curtain underneath the sound, the kind of love that lifts you when you're underground. Not loud, not bright, not perfect, not divine by side, but real enough to find me in the middle of the night. I spoke without a language, cried without a word, and in the space between the silence I was heard. You don't need a congregation, you don't need a stage. Sometimes God lives in the music on a broken edge. Sometimes he's the violin that plays above the beat. Sometimes he's the reason why you won't accept defeat. I felt you in the rhythm, I felt you in the low, I felt you in the places only broken people go. Shadows learn to dance when the morning won't arrive. I found my way through darkness just to feel alive. Every tear I swallowed turned into a melody. The broken parts of me became my only key. Shadows learn to dance, shadows learn to dance, shadows learn to dance, shadows learn to dance. I never thought that losing could become my second chance. Through the noise, through the pain, through the lonely 3 a.m. the shadows learn to dance again. I'm not hiding, I'm not falling. I can hear the light now calling through the dark. I found the version I was meant to be. Shadows learn to dance, and so do we. The violin still plays long after the crowd is gone. The shadows learn to dance, they always do. The night feels like it knows my name. Every beat a reminder I'm still here, still breathing, still reaching, still burning. I carry every scar like a song I can't forget. Every wound became a bridge I haven't crossed just yet. The floor is shaking underneath my tired feet, but somehow I still feel the beat. Burning soul, still finding light when the darkness takes control. I fall apart, but I'm never really lost. Grace keeps calling me home, no matter what it costs. Burning soul, these echoes lead me back to who I was before. Through every night, I danced alone and cried. Something in me never died. Burning soul. Started with a question I was scared to ask. Who am I beneath the smile behind this mask? I've been running through the city with nowhere to go, looking for a signal in the undertow. Everybody's moving but I'm standing still, feeling everything at once, I always will. I didn't know. Watch my confidence dissolve like winter snow. But every time I thought I hit the lowest floor, something pulled me back and whispered one more door. I used to think that faith was for the ones with peace, not for those like me who couldn't find release. But here I am at 3 a.m., eyes full of tears, dancing through my doubts, dancing through my fears. Maybe this is worship in a different form, a broken heart still beating in the middle of a storm. Maybe all this longing, all this searching through the night is just a soul that's hungry for the light. I don't have all the answers, and that's okay. Some truths only reveal themselves when you stay in the fire, stay in the unknown. Even lost, you're never truly alone. There's a voice that lives inside the melody that speaks to me in frequencies I finally hear. Not in words, not in doctrine, not in perfect lines, but in the space between the music and my tears. I felt you in the breakdown, I felt you in the rise, I felt you in the moment. When I opened up my eyes, you were always there, in the echo, in the dark, in every beat that carried what I couldn't say with words. Burning soul, still finding light when the darkness takes control. I fall apart, but I'm never really lost. Grace keeps calling me home, no matter what it costs. Burning soul, these echoes lead me back to who I was before. Through every night, I danced alone and cried. Something in me never died. I'm not broken, I'm becoming. I'm not falling, I am running toward the light I couldn't see before. Burning soul, burning more, burning soul. Burning more. The echoes always knew the way, the echoes always led me back. Burning soul, burning, burning. There is a river running somewhere underneath this town, beneath the concrete and the noise and everything that drowned. The violin remembers it before the words arrive. It plays the sound of something barely keeping it alive. I used to think the silence meant the river was not there, but silence is just water moving deeper than the air. You cannot hear the warmest rivers from the frozen ground. You only feel them rising when the thaw begins to sound. I have been the storm that stopped the river cold. I have been the winter keeping everything controlled. I've been the dam that held a lifetime off the shore. I have been the locked room with no windows and no door. But something cracked the surface when I least expected grace, and something warm came rushing through the broken place. And I stood in the middle of the flooding and the light, and for the first time in so long I did not want to fight. Glass rivers running warm beneath my frozen ground. Glass rivers running warm, they carry every sound, every prayer I could not finish, every tear I could not cry. Glass rivers running warm in broken glass began to see. I was the kind of person who could hold it all together, who showed up through the fire and performed through any weather. A reputation built on being steady, being strong, being everyone's foundation. All the days and nights so long, I never let them see me when the ceiling started cracking. Never let them hear the sound of everything I was lacking. I smiled through the funerals of friendships left behind. I smiled through the quiet devastation of my mind. I learned to make a comfort out of being indispensable. I learned to make my emptiness look almost sensible. Until the night I sat beside a river in the rain, not looking for an answer, just a witness to my pain. And I noticed how the water moved through everything. It meant not force and not demanding, just in motion. And I said it did not try to go around the rocks, it went right through. It did not stop for obstacles, it just became them too. And something in me recognized the river's patient way. Glass does not break by force, it breaks by pressure every day. So I sat there in the rain beside the water, dark and wide. And I finally stopped performing and I let myself inside. Glass rivers running warm beneath my frozen ground. Glass rivers running warm, they carry every sound, every prayer I could not finish, every tear I could not cry. Glass rivers running warm remind me I am still alive. Glass rivers running warm, they move without a sound. Glass rivers running warm, they turn my world around. I thought that I had sealed it all too perfectly indeed, but glass rivers running warm refused to let me sleep, refused to let me sleep, refused to let me sleep. Something warm inside my broken glass began to see. I called my mother on a Tuesday after years of space. She picked up on the second ring like time had left no trace. We talked about the weather, then we talked about the years. And somewhere in the middle she just laughed away her tears. She said, I always knew that you were carrying too much. I said, I learned it watching you. And she said, yes, I know, such. We stayed quiet for a moment, like the river holding still, before it finds the gradient, before it finds the hill. And in that conversation something ancient was released. A river we had both been damming finally found its peace. Two people made of glass who learned to hold each other warm. Two rivers that had frozen, finding motion after storm. I drove home through the city with the windows open wide. The violin was somewhere in a building to my side. Somebody was rehearsing something delicate and clear, and it sounded like the conversation I had needed here. Like someone else had put the music to the thing I felt like. Sound could be the language for the cars that life had built. I pulled the car over and I let myself be moved and wept for every year of warmth I had refused. By glass rivers running warm inside the thing I had removed. Bring it to the streets alone, the deep house breeze below. Bring it to the opposite place where only true things go. In the space between the note and the silence after sound, there is a glass river bone that wants to be found. Let the violin carry what the language cannot hold. Let the bass remind the body what the heart was never told. I have been afraid of softness, like it signals giving up. Like tenderness is weakness, like compassion means corrupt. Like if I let the wolf back in, I lose the edge I need. Like being moved by beauty is a dangerous conceit. But I have watched the hardest people shatter into dust, while the ones who stayed open somehow held. There is a version of the truth that only midnight keeps, the one that lives beneath the surface while the city sleeps. The violin arrives before I find the words to say, and pulls the honest version of me out into the day. I have worn so many faces for so many rooms. I have been the light at parties in the dark and empty tombs. But somewhere past the hour, the pretending fades away. Midnight finds the name I buried somewhere on the way.
Midnight knows my real name,
not the one I give the world, not the one I wear like chains.
Midnight knows my real name,
whispered through the violin, above the bass refrain.
Midnight knows my real name,
every secret, every scar, every beautiful and broken frame.
Midnight knows my real name,
and in the knowing I was never quite the same, never quite the same, never quite the same, never quite the same. Midnight called and something ancient in me came. I was built for disappearing into other people's needs. I was taught that being wanted meant performing on your knees. Not literally, but close enough. The principle was real. Your worth was measured by your usefulness, not what you feel. So I became a master of becoming what was asked. 100 different versions of myself behind the master. Responsible one, the funny one, the one who never cries, the one who holds it all together underneath familiar skies. And I was good at it, so good that I forgot the core, the version underneath the versions. Alone in the middle of the crowd, where no one needs a name. And midnight found me there, and nothing was the same.
Midnight knows my real name,
not the one I give the world, not the one I wear like chains.
Midnight knows my real name,
whisper through the violin, above the bass refrain.
Midnight knows my real name,
every secret, every scar, every beautiful and broken frame.
Midnight knows my real name,
and in the knowing I was never quite the same, never quite the same, never quite the same. Midnight called and something ancient in me came. Happening beneath the beat, between the person that I show and the one I never meet. In the daylight they avoid each other, perfectly arranged, but at midnight they collide and everything gets rearranged. I have sat with my contradictions on a speaker's edge. I have made my peace with falling right before the ledge. I have danced with the version of myself I used to fear, and found that what I ran from was the thing I needed near. I needed the softness that I told myself was weak. I needed the longing that I never let me speak. I needed the grief I had been storing for a decade long. I needed all the minor notes inside my major song, and the violin above the house beat understood. It played the complicated beauty of my humanhood, not just a triumph, not just the inspirational art, but the full and messy middle of the light inside the dark. Fade the crowd out, let the strings remain, let the honest frequency dissolve the strain. In the silence between the drop and the it carrying more than I could name. A history of almost and a gallery of shame. The violin rose up before I found the door and played the version of me I was searching for. I did not come to dance, I came to disappear. I did not come for music, I just came to not be here. But something in the strings pulled something in my chest, and what I thought was broken started moving with the rest. Wounds that learn to dance from the midnight floor. Wounds that learn to dance do not hurt like before. Every scar became a rhythm, every ache became a beat. Wounds that learn to dance found something incomplete. Wounds that learn to dance in the violet light. Wounds that learn to dance made it through the night. I never thought my broken parts could ever move like this. Wounds that learn to dance found the thing I missed. Found the thing I missed. Oh, the thing I missed. I remember being 14 on a staircase crying loud, in a house full of people feeling lost inside the crowd. Nobody came to check on me, nobody asked a question why. I learned that silence was the only place that I could cry. So I swallowed every feeling and I packaged it up neat, presented to the world a version polished and complete. A version that could smile on cue and laugh at all the right, and fall apart completely in the middle of the night. Years went by and I got better at the show, more convincing in the role that people chose to know. But underneath the surface where the real things live and grow, there was a voice still on that staircase saying no one knows. No one knows the weight I carry through the ordinary days. No one knows the way I fight myself in ordinary ways. No one knows until the violin above the bass reached inside the crowd and found my face upon the midnight floor. Wounds that learn to dance do not hurt like before. Every scar became a rhythm, every ache became a beat. Wounds that learn to dance found something incomplete. Wounds that learn to dance in the violet light. Wounds that learn to dance made it through the night. I never thought my broken parts could ever move like this. Wounds that learn to dance. Oh, found the thing I missed. Found the thing I missed. Oh, I have loved people who were not able to love back. I have given everything and still fell through the crack. I have prayed in empty rooms and questioned what I got. I have held on to the rope until I forgot the knot. But every time I thought the story reached its end, something unexpected came around the bend. Not a miracle exactly, not a sign up in the sky, just enough to keep me asking questions, just enough to try. A conversation with a stranger on a broken night, a song that found the words I needed to recite. A moment on a dance floor when I stopped performing pain and let my body move through everything like rain that does not question where it falls or why, like rain that does not need permission from the sky. I moved away the wounded move when music makes them brave. Not a perfect dancer, only one, a dance inside the cave. Let the bass drop low, let the violin breathe, let the truth come up through everything beneath. In the space between the suffer and the song, there is a version of you that was never wrong. I wanna say something that the daylight keeps from me, something that the after hours finally sets free. That every wound you carry has a rhythm locked inside, that every scar is just a map of somewhere you survived. I have seen the way the broken move when music gives them room. I have seen the tears that fall and turn the dance floor to a womb, a place where heart is not a weakness, it is everything you have. The part is where the dancing starts inside the aftermath. Wounds that learn to dance upon a midnight floor. Wounds that learn to dance do not hurt like before. Every scar became a rhythm, every ache became a beat. Wounds that learn to dance found something incomplete. Wounds that learn to dance in the violet light. Wounds that learn to dance made it through the night. I never thought my broken parts could ever move like this. But I am not the catalog of everything I miss. I'm every step I took and stepping felt too hard. I am every open door I walked through from the dark. I am the violin that plays above the deepest wound. I am the dancer and the dancing in the room. Found the thing I missed. Found the thing I missed. Wounds that learn to dance. Found the thing I missed. The room is dark, but something in it glows. A warmth that only broken people know. The violin ascends before the words arrive, and reminds me what it means to be alive. I have been the fire that forgot its name. I have been the ash that still refused to be tamed. Something in me burns even when I cannot see. Burning slow in sacred dark, becoming free. Burning slow in sacred dark, I find what I've lost. Burning slow in sacred dark, I learned to count the cost. Every flame that nearly killed me left a light inside. Burning slow in sacred dark, I have nothing left to hide. Burning slow, the violin carries me home. Burning slow, through the sacred dark alone. I thought the fire was destroying everything I am, but burning slow in sacred dark, I found my promised land. Found my promised land. Found my promised land. I grew up in a house where silence spoke the most, where love was something distant, like a fading ghost. We did not talk about the things that lived inside. We only dressed them up in Sunday clothes to hide. I learned to read the temperature of every room, to sense the shift before the storm, before the gloom. Became an expert at becoming what was needed, while everything I actually was went unheeded. By 18 I had mastered how to disappear. By 20 I had swallowed half a lifetime of fear. By 25 I sat inside a car at night, asking something I could not name to give me a light. Not a dramatic moment, not a movie kind of prayer, just a human being desperate, breathing city air. And something shifted underneath the parking lot. Oh, a violin from soul
in my chest. I only knew it would not let me settle for the rest of a life I've lived, the rest of playing small, the rest of being everything for everyone, stalling. Something in me caught and would not be extinguished. No matter how the world around me tried to finish, I lost the job and burned, I lost the girl and burned, I lost the version of my future I had earned. And in each loss I felt the sacred underneath, the fire clearing space so something new could breathe. Not punishment, not karma, not the universe unkind, but something like a sculptor working through the grind, removing what was never really meant to stay, and burning slow in sacred dark. I found my way. Strip away the drop, let the violin confess. Strip away the crowd, let the soul address what nobody says out loud in the daylight hours, what only comes alive in the after midnight flowers. I wanna tell you something that the daylight never shows. There is a version of yourself that only sacred darkness knows. Not the version performing, not the version keeping score, but the version on the floor who cannot take it anymore. And that version is the holiest thing you will ever be, that raw unfiltered human in their raw unfiltered need. Because whatever sacred means, it meets you exactly there. Not in the highlight version, but in the despair. I have felt it like a violin that plays inside the bone. I have felt it like the knowledge that you are not alone. Even when the room is empty, even when the dark is deep, even when you cannot pray because you cannot speak. The burning does not stop because you lost the words. The sacred does not leave because you cry when unheard. It burns in you like something permanent and slow, a fire in the marrow that the darkness helped you know. Burning slow in sacred dark, I find what I have lost. Burning slow in sacred dark, I learned to count the cost. Every flame that nearly killed me left a light inside. Burning slow in sacred dark, I had nothing left to hide. Burning slow, the violin carries me home. Burning slow, through the sacred dark alone. I thought the fire was destroying everything I am. But burning slow in sacred dark, I found my promised land, found my promised land, found my promised land. A room is dark but something in it glows, a warmth that only broken people know. The violin ascends before the words arrive, and reminds me what it means to be alive. I have been the fire that forgot its name, I have been the ash that still refused to be tamed. Something in me burns even when I cannot see, burning slow in sacred dark, becoming free. Burning slow in sacred dark, I find what I have lost. Burning slow in sacred dark, I learned to count the cost. Every flame that nearly killed me left a light inside. Burning slow in sacred dark, I have nothing left to hide. The room is dark, but something in it glows, a warmth that only broken people know. The violin ascends before the words arrive, and reminds me what it means to be alive. I have been the fire that forgot its name, I have been the ash that still refused to be tamed. Something in me burns even when I cannot see, burning slow in sacred dark, becoming free. Burning slow in sacred dark, I find what I've lost. Burning slow in sacred dark, I learned to count the cost. Every flame that nearly killed me left a light inside.
in a house where silence spoke the most, where love was something distant, like a fading ghost. We did not talk about the things that lived inside. We only dressed them up in Sunday clothes to hide. I learned to read the temperature of every room, to sense the shift before the storm, before the gloom. Became an expert at becoming what was needed, while everything I actually was went unheeded. By 18 I had mastered how to disappear. By 20 I had swallowed half a lifetime of fear. By 25 I sat inside a car at night, asking something I could not name to give me a light. Not a dramatic moment, not a movie kind of prayer, just a human being desperate, breathing city air. And something shifted underneath the parking lot. Oh, a violin from somewhere, and the night went on, burning slow in sacred dark. I find what I have lost, burning slow in sacred dark. I learned to count the cost. Every flame that nearly killed me left a light inside, burning slow in sacred dark. I have nothing left to hide. Burning slow, the violin carries me home, burning slow, through the sacred dark alone. I felt the fire was destroying everything I am, but burning slow in sacred dark. I found my promised land, found my promised land, found my promised land. There's a kind of burning that does not consume, that clears the dead wood out and gives the light more room. I did not understand it when it started in my chest. I only knew it would not let me settle for the rest of a life I've lived, the rest of playing small, the rest of being everything for everyone, stalling. Something in me caught and would not be extinguished, no matter how the world around me tried to finish. I lost the job and burned, I lost the girl and burned, I lost the version of my future I had earned. And in each loss I felt the sacred underneath, the fire clearing space so something new could breathe. Not punishment, not karma, not the universe unkind, but something like a sculptor working through the grind, removing what was never really meant to stay, and burning slow in sacred dark. I found my way. Strip away the drop, let the violin confess. Strip away the crowd, let the soul address what nobody says out loud in the daylight hours, what only comes alive in the after midnight flowers. I wanna tell you something that the daylight never shows. There is a version of yourself that only sacred darkness knows. Not the version performing, not the version keeping score, but the version on the floor who cannot take it anymore. And that version is the holiest thing you will ever be, that raw unfiltered human in their raw unfiltered need. Because whatever sacred means, it meets you exactly there, not in the highlight version, but in the despair. I have felt it like a violin that plays inside the bone. I have felt it like the knowledge that you are not alone, even when the room is empty, even when the dark is deep, even when you cannot pray because you cannot speak. The burning does not stop because you lost the words. The sacred does not leave because
A room is dark, but something in it glows, a warmth that only broken people know. The violin ascends before the words arrive and reminds me what it means to be alive. I have been the fire that forgot its name. I have been the ash that still refused to be tamed. Something in me burns even when I cannot see, burning slow in sacred dark, becoming free. Burning slow in sacred dark, I find what I have lost. Burning slow in sacred dark, I learned to count the cost. Every flame that nearly killed me left a light inside. Burning slow in sacred dark, I have nothing left to hide. There is a sound the city makes at 4 a.m. when all the noise dies down and starts again. A violin somewhere above the hum of sleep, playing all the promises I'm meant to keep. I used to run from everything that made me feel, convinced myself that none was better than what's real. But the music found the places I had locked away, and everything I buried had a price to pay. Echo of a soul that stayed when everything said leave. Echo of a faith that prayed through everything I grieve. I heard it in the violin above the midnight bass. I heard it calling softly from a long forgotten place. Echo of a soul that stayed. Echo of a soul that stayed. Through the fire, through the silence, through the years and never fade. I thought that I had lost it in the chaos and the shame, but the echo of the soul that stays still knows my name. Still knows my name. Still knows my name. Still knows my name. I was 22 and certain I was cursed. Of everyone I knew, I always had it worst. At least that's what I told myself at night, when the darkness felt too permanent for life. Lost a friendship that I thought would never end. Watched the love I built collapse around a bed. Sat inside an empty room with everything I owned, and realized that broken could feel more like home. But something in me refused to just dissolve, a stubborn little heartbeat with the need to solve the mystery of why I was still standing here, with nothing but a pulse and half a prayer. The bass came through the wall from someone else's night, and something in the rhythm made it feel less tight. Like even in the loss there was a frequency that hung beneath the surface just for me. Echo of a soul that stayed when everything said leave. Echo of a faith that prayed through everything I grieve. I heard it in the violin above the midnight bass. I heard it calling softly from a long forgotten place. Echo of a soul that stayed. Echo of a soul that stayed. Through the fire, through the silence, through the years it never fade. I thought that I had lost it in the chaos and the shame, but the echo of a soul that stays still knows my name. Still knows my name. Still knows my name. Still knows my name. They say that time will heal what you cannot forget, but healing is a stranger I have not quite met. Some mornings wake up heavy, some nights carry weight. Some seasons feel like winter had decided to be late, but I have learned that healing is not linear. in a heartbeat. Bring it down to just the truth underneath. In the space where all the pretending disappears, there is someone who has waited all these years. I spoke to something bigger than my understanding, in a language made of music, not of words, demanding not a formal conversation with the proper tone, just a broken human being, feeling less alone. And whatever hurt me, answer back in frequency, in the pulse beneath the melody that moved through me. I do not have a doctrine for the thing I felt that night. I just know the violin above the bass felt right. Felt like being seen without the need to explain. Felt like being held inside the middle of the pain. Felt like something nature recognizing something new. Felt like home inside a soul I never knew. So I stopped asking for a sign that makes complete sense, and I started living in the beautiful suspense of a story still unfolding, of a grace I cannot name, of an echo of a soul that always stayed the same. Echo of a soul that stayed when everything said leave. Echo of a faith that prayed through everything I grieve. I heard it in the violin above the midnight bass. I heard it calling softly from a long forgotten place. Echo of a soul that stayed. Echo of a soul that stayed through the fire, through the silence, through the years. It never frayed. I thought that I had lost it in the chaos and the shame, but the echo of the soul that stayed still knows my name. I'm not the version broken by the hardest year. I'm every morning I decided to stay here. I'm every song that held me when I could not hold. I am the echo of a soul too alive to fall. Still knows my name, still knows my name. Echo still knows my name. Echo still knows my name. There is a sound the city makes it for you, when all the noise dies down and starts again. A violin somewhere above the hum of sleep, playing all the promises I meant to keep. I used to run from everything that made me feel, convince myself that none